The Power Rangers have been around now for 26 years. In that time, we've gone from the iconic Mighty Morphin to the fan favorite in space to the beloved Ninja Storm, the disappointment that's Super Mega Force, and now we're in the uphill battle that's Beast Morphers. Thank Zordon. So many teams, so many themes, so many ups and downs within the franchise, and so on and so forth. But if there's one thing that's remained constant despite it all, it's this man, the GOAT, the godfather of Power Rangers, Tommy Oliver. Most recently, we've seen Tommy in action twice in 1 year, which isn't common these days. Once was in the Dimensions in Danger team up, and the other was in the Soul of the Dragon graphic novel, which was written by Kyle Higgins. It was penned as Tommy's final journey as a Power Ranger. Given the status of Tommy in both time periods, especially in Soul of the Dragon, it's clear as day that there's an underlying message, not only from Tommy the character, but from the actor Jason David Frank, who is also considered the face of the Power Rangers franchise. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Roliver Queen, and in this video I'm going to discuss how Soul of the Dragon is signaling the end of JDF's time in the Power Rangers franchise. If this is your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you're never out of the loop whenever I drop new videos. Also, this video is purely me speculating for fun based off of what happens in Soul of the Dragon and JDF's life as of recent. Please do not take this as fact. Once again, please do not take this as fact. Now let's continue on to the video. Dimensions in Danger presented us with the more grown and mature Tommy Oliver this time around. He's running his own dojo, he's finally settled down and married to Kat, and together they have a son named JJ, who we don't properly get introduced to until Soul of the Dragon. Despite this amazing growth in character, it's clear that even years after Dino Thunder, he can't escape being a Ranger. So much so that it requires him to wield the Master Morpher, which allows him to morph into every single one of his previous Ranger forms over the years. This carries over into Soul of the Dragon, which takes place years after the events of Dimensions in Danger. Here Tommy is much more older. JJ is now a member of SPD, and Tommy needs to go on one last mission to save JJ, which marks the end of his run as a Power Ranger for good. As I watched and read both events, I couldn't help but notice and compare these aspects of Tommy's life with certain happenings in JDF's actual life, which leads me to believe that all of this is prepping for JDF to leave the franchise altogether. Let's break these down. JJ and Jenna both following their father's footsteps. One of the main plot points in Soul of the Dragon was that JJ felt a lot of pressure at SPD due to the legacy of Tommy, and it's perfectly understandable. Tommy has saved the world multiple times as a member of the Mighty Morphin team, Zeo, Turbo, Dino Thunder, and a number of other times via team-ups with an assortment of different Rangers. It's only natural to feel like you have to live up to a certain expectation. Eventually things smooth over at the end and JJ continues to forge his own path as a Power Ranger. Now let's compare this to JDF's life outside of the show. He's been very proactive lately by having his daughter attend cons with him and engaging with the fans. This eventually led to a rumor earlier this year stating that she was poised to be the next Red Ranger. Even though we already had our new Red Ranger locked in as Beast Morpher's Red Devin Daniels, she still addressed the rumor, saying she'd be more than willing to take the challenge, and even stated that her dad's involvement in the show was a huge influence behind that. She's even included in the heavily Power Rangers influenced Legend of the White Dragon fan project as one of the stars, so it's not too far-fetched to think that with this recent surge in activity, JDF is planting the seeds so that his legacy could continue with Jenna as he makes his eventual exit. The only main difference here is that compared to JJ, Jenna seems to be excited to jump into the Ranger world. With Soul of the Dragon tied directly into the show's canon, JDF could technically leave at any time, and Jenna could land a role on Power Rangers, either as a relative of Tommy or someone completely new. Regardless, the legacy of Frank will continue on. Both JDF and Tommy are getting older. Soul of the Dragon shows us the degradation of Tommy in two ways. One is his body, which has been badly damaged due to his last couple of Ranger fights. The second is his Master Morpher, which sustained significant damage, thus allowing him to morph into said forms one last time before the entire Morpher is rendered powerless. With no more powers to call upon, this forces him to step away from the life of a Power Ranger for good, and leaving saving the world to SPD. This could easily be comparable to the number of times JDF has returned on screen, whether it's for a full role such as his time on Dino Thunder, or for one episode such as Forever Red, Dimensions in Danger, and legendary battle, or for the brief cameo in the Power Rangers movie. Now, it's obvious that JDF isn't Tommy and isn't suffering from any bodily or mental damage due to his time on the show. But the times are changing. When you throw in the constant con appearances in the mix, many of which he uses to promote Power Rangers, it's safe to say that JDF is essentially carrying the franchise on his back. It's not weird to think that all of this could be taking a toll on him in some way. Different time zones, different cities, different continents. Also, throw in the occasional Tommy appearance in the show. Say what you want, it's a lot for one person to handle. Again, JDF does a great job taking care of himself, but he also isn't getting any younger. Also, with Hasbro taking charge of the franchise and making it known that Power Rangers has untapped potential, they could begin the process of making someone else the face of the franchise, preferably someone new outside of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, thus giving JDF the freedom to step down from anything Power Rangers altogether. JDF pitched Soul of the Dragon with his and Tommy's exit in mind. JDF is credited as the special consultant for Soul of the Dragon, and he wanted this type of ending for Tommy. In a Sci-Fi Wire interview back in 2017, he stated that he was in talks with Saban, now Hasbro, about such a project and the style he'd like it done in. Also, in response to a question asking about his future in the franchise, he stated there will be a final time where Tommy will hang up his spandex, thus proving he's probably been thinking about his exit for a while now. Now, when you add this onto the other points I highlighted, it should start to make sense how things are pointed towards his eventual exit. Now, there's a fair amount of time in between Dimensions in Danger and Soul of the Dragon. There's still some storytelling that could be done with Tommy, and JDF is still willing to suit up should the occasion arise. But the evidence is there, both in his life and his recent on-screen appearance as Tommy, and now in comic book form in Soul of the Dragon. Both Tommy and JDF have grown and served Power Rangers well, and soon it'll be the last morphin time for them both. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Roliver Queen out.